So upon further inspection, after changing that chip out, it still wasn't working. So I was kind of taking a look at it, and I was able to find the data sheets on that chip and looked closer at it and realized I didn't have any of the voltages that I needed going to that chip, and I was kind of confused and looking over the board trying to figure out where that power comes from. Um, you might think that it comes from the flyback area over here, but actually there's a secondary transformer that I found that was over here, and I didn't really think anything of it until recently, and I was taking a look at it and I wasn't getting any voltage out of it. So I took it out, and there it is, just a little guy like that, and that was right in this spot right here. And did some testing on it and found out that the primary winding of the transformer was open. So I don't know if it actually melted down, or if it's got like a thermal fuse maybe that cut it off, but I'm gonna take a look at it and see if I can fix it, or maybe replace it with a different transformer so I can get those voltages back there. So I'll keep working on it and see how it goes. Alright, so I was able to get the transformer open, and I think I discovered the problem here. I found some green corrosion on the copper wires coming off the transformer. So I think I can kind of see that one of the wires here is broken, and it kind of breaks off there, and then there's a little piece way inside there. So I'm gonna have to get creative with this thing and see if I can get in there and try and reattach those wires somehow, because there's no way I can get a soldering iron in there. Not sure how you would normally do this, but probably going to break away some of this plastic here and see if I can get in there and maybe reconnect this. And I think it'll be a simple fix like that, and this transformer will be good to go, and I don't have to worry about trying to match up the spec on this obsolete, impossible to find transformer. So I'll keep working on it and see how it goes. So after the long, arduous process of trying to carve away the plastic and make a little spot where I could connect the wire back to the primary winding of the transformer, I was finally able to make a good connection, and I'm getting voltage. So thank goodness that I was able to save this thing, because I didn't know what voltage it was. And it turns out that it actually outputs 18, and that'd be 18 volts AC. And then when it's rectified, that comes out to about 25 volts DC. So there's usually, when you rectify AC voltage, it's about 1.4 times what the AC voltage is going in. So that'll be perfect, because the chip that I installed was asking for 24 volts. So that'll be right on the money. Probably once it gets that area of the board, it's probably regulated, and I should be good to go. So it is working. I'll show you here. There's the test light bulb. It's pushing out 18 volts, so we're good to go. I'm gonna button this thing back up and pop it back in the board, and hopefully breathe some life into this TV. Alright, so here we are. The transformer's back in. That's this guy right here. I was really glad to be able to rescue that and be able to use the factory transformer, because it would have been hard to fit anything else in there and figure out what would work and give me the right voltages. So I think that's going to be a lifesaver for this project. So I'm getting about ready to test it out, just doing a last check over and making sure everything looks good. You can kind of see there's a ton of components on this board. You've got all kinds of things here. You got the tuner here, something else there, some of the proprietary chips in there. You can kind of see the capacitor replacement job that I did here. Got new caps there for the main part of the power supply. And then over on the other side here is the flyback transformer. So you can kind of see what that looks like. So we'll see how this goes. Hopefully it'll be working here shortly. Alright, so here it is. I've got it all hooked up. I've got power running to it. And let's see the results of all the labor I put into this. It's been a really long project, just figuring out how this TV works and checking all the components and trying to find the source of the problem. But let's see here what happens when I push the power button. Oh, can you hear that sound? I never thought I'd be so happy to hear the sound of static from a TV. So it works, it powers on. See if the Famicom part of it works. And there it is. Beautiful RGB picture, nice, sharp, and clear. No discoloring in the corners. It looks like the degauss is working properly. The built-in game is working here. You can kind of see. I guess it's something that you can use to kind of just draw and make your own pictures and mess around with it and stuff. So I'm super excited. I cannot believe that this thing is finally working. I'm going to finish getting this thing fixed up. Now it's just minor things from this point on, like putting in the controller ports that were missing, fixing those. Got the player 1 and the expansion controller port working, but I just can't believe it. Never thought that I'd actually get this thing working, and that it'd be working so well just with a simple fix like that. I think the capacitors probably helped too, putting new capacitors in there to give it a nice clean sharp picture, but I think it traced back to just having that transformer being disconnected and the wires getting corroded on it. Had some of that green corrosion that you see on copper wires. So all I did was fix that up. I was able to connect the wire. It was painstaking because I had a little tiny stub sticking through a little tiny hole, and to try and get that connected was a huge pain, but I carefully got it connected and made a solid connection, and then kind of put a little glue around it too to protect it and keep it from possibly corroding in the future. So I'm gonna finish getting this thing cleaned up and get that circuit board working, and I'll show you my progress. I'm hoping to get this thing playing here soon and be able to pop some games in. So thanks again guys for watching, and see you on the next video.